What's up, guys? I gotta make a quick video on SPY because this is a very important moment for the SPY in my opinion. So basically what we can see is this 396 to 396.30, which is my level, was a key support. If you move it up to 396.30, 396.75, right in that area. But basically, what we can see is that it was a pretty good support until it's not, right? When we fail it, that's usually when we drop pretty hard. But most of the time, we end up coming back up, reclaiming it, trying to hold it as support. Let me show it on like an hourly. It might be more clear. So when we broke this the first time, we held it. We rallied all the way up to 418. We came down most recently, and we started this channel pretty much from, if we go off of the bodies, or we can go off this, yeah, we'll go off some of these wicks here, right across this area down to, let's say right here, or this area right here. Yeah, right here, sorry. So we have this potential channel right here. We were chopping around within this range, and then we broke it. We back tested as resistance, but we ended up pushing right back through, catching resistance here again, chopping again, and now we broke it. So if SPY can break back in, then we're going to see a very large double bottom come into play. However, if SPY continues to fail, it continues to hold it as potential resistance this time. Last time, chopped around 396.20 right here. Started closing beneath it, but we still got back up. Now we're kind of doing a similar thing here. Look down to the 1 minute, it'll show it even more clear. This same box, we've been trying to reclaim it, but keep failing. Are we going to fail again right now? This is what we're looking at. So this is pretty critical. The same thing goes with down and the low. On Friday, we had a low down at 393.63, which we had a little bit of a bear trap down here. But I mean, my key area of support for me was 394, roughly 394.20. You can see we came down to this support. We started closing bodies, wicks were coming down, but we bought back up. We came down and we double bottomed, but we still rejected on this area. Come back down again, we broke it. So I was actually looking for us to bounce off the 393 and potentially get rejection here and then break the low. But a lot of traders were most likely waiting for that 393.65 to take along, because if you look at like a 4-hour time frame, that was pretty much our low from before. So any traders that are bullish are going to take that long there. Now, this could definitely turn into a double bottom, and I'm going to show you a bullish case scenario for SPY, and the reasoning why it could be a bullish thing is the DXY. If you look at the DXY on a 4-hour time frame, and we look at previous uptrend that it had was in this range, whatever, long-term uptrending channel. On November 10th, right here, November 10th, 2022, we finally broke it really on November 8th, and then it came back up, and it rejected it on November 10th as resistance and started its fall. And if you look at SPY, go over and we look at November 10th. November 10th was right here, 2022. This was SPY's bottom. Exactly at the same time that DXY broke its channel. Well, I mean, this was its bottom, but this was the start of the move, I believe. Well, this was the support that it held. I guess it didn't really bottom because it did come back down here after. But it did have a nice rally, we'll call it. Then it rejected and then it chopped around that same low that pretty much signaled the bottom here, here. And this ended up being the low. So now, you saw on DXY, currently, DXY has now broken this potential rising wedge, and the only thing that I'm kind of looking at is, did this come back up and back test it as resistance here on the hourly? We wicked up and rejected, and it's trying to potentially maybe put in a double bottom that maybe it reclaims it. That's to be seen still. Trying to decide, I think, what it wants to do. This is pretty strong support at 104.2. So if it does actually get back in and reclaim this, SPY most likely is going to drop because either number one, reclaims this rising wedge, or number two, it's not a rising wedge and it's turning out to be something different. I'm still waiting on that, but for now, that's what we're watching. But needless to say, that's where the bulls can potentially have their day. But as of right now, we are potentially either, number one, trying to put in a double bottom, or number two, rejecting previous support as new resistance. So those are the two things that we have to watch right now. And even looking down at a 5-minute, we can see how significant this level is becoming right now. We have so many wicks going, so many bodies closing below this level. So this is going to be very big. If we do fail, when we come back down, we're going to have to watch that same level of 394.40 as another potential support. And if it holds it, then it can obviously just chop in this range, or maybe it goes back up and ends up breaking through. And if that does get broken and it flips to resistance, then we're going to be looking at a lot more downside. You can see that we have now broken once. Previously, we fell from this channel. We found support on 394.41. We couldn't close any candle bodies below, so we rallied back up. We rejected the 396.30. Then we finally broke it, but we bounced. We just shot right through it like it was butter, so that's the only thing. And now we're rejecting this level again. So I guess the next question for this price action is, do we just find support again on 394.40, or do this time we actually come down, break it, and start rejecting 394.40 and then move further to the downside? So those will be some things that we have to watch. We still have on the daily time frame, we have this downtrending resistance, previous downtrending resistance that could still become support if we back test it. That's still a little ways away. If price does want to fall, that's down at roughly 389. So that's going to be something to watch for support. And also another thing to think about as far as a further move down, if that did break, is what if this right here is a bear flag from the breakdown of that to the low, and you target from the breakdown back test of the flag, that could target SPY down at 282. Now I don't expect it to just go straight down, of course, but it's possible if this does play out, and we do see a bounce here, we would probably come back up and either retest the 394.40 as resistance, or retest that same 396, and if we can get through the 396, then we watch the top of this, which will be 401.30, and any break of that would actually be back in kind of bullish mode, in my opinion. So right now, that's where I'm kind of targeting, is down in this range. If we can't seem to get back above, and let's just see how I mean, it doesn't have to go down. Like right now, it's just still kind of just trying its damn hardest to figure out what it wants to do. Maybe it is building something bullish here, and maybe this is going to just eventually chop around and be some kind of big symmetrical triangle that ends up breaking to the upside back into this box, and this whole short idea will be invalid. But for right now, I am in a short, and I did enter it up in this candle here, and I'm just going to hold on to it for now because I didn't have that 396.30 marked out, and that's where I ended up getting in. So if you put a line right here on 396.29 or 396.30, then you'll kind of get an idea if this does decide to come back up. If it starts closing and holding this as support, you can probably find a pattern to play to the upside, and then most likely we're going to be shooting way up. But for now, I don't know if it looks bullish enough to be able to do that. So that's where I'm at. NVDA, I missed my damn short on this. Maybe it gives us another short here. This 28.34 seems to be pretty key right now. You can see that NVDA fell down to about 125. I put in a double bottom there so far. The real breakdown, honestly, was up here, and that was a sick triple top or triple top, whatever you want to call it. That broke down, but the main breakdown was the 229.50. Lost this area, and now we're kind of trying to potentially bottom or just take a little bit of a break before another leg lower. And if you're looking at like a daily time frame, maybe put some EMAs. You kind of have a 21 EMA at 220. That's a possible downside move. Right now, you're testing 21 EMA on the 4-hour. 50 EMA on the 4-hour has bottomed this trend. That's at 215. So that could be something to look at if we do lose this on the next leg lower. If we do go lower, right now it is holding some support. But in order for it to get bullish, it needs to reclaim roughly 229.50, I would say. And that's NVDA. Like I said, I missed the damn short. I was so mad on that. It was right here, and I was watching it and everything. And it honestly just dropped like a rock. So I was like, oh, it's going to come back and back test this as resistance, and I can add. Well, it never did that. It just kept dropping, and I just didn't want to just jump into it here or anything. And then we got a bounce, so then I was like, all right, this is the chance. It's going to come back. It's going to back test this as resistance, and then it just chopped here and it dropped. And I was like, no. So it did give us another chance here potentially. Maybe this is going to be just a new range for NVDA, 226.70 to 228. If it does come back here, I'm going to most likely put it in a short as long as it gets rejected. If it does reclaim it, then obviously this will just be an inverse head and shoulders right down here. That ended up being like a big fake out or something, which I guess is still possible. For now, it's kind of like trying to build something, so I'm not sure if it's going to be something like that shoots us up. That's a possibility. So watch some of the lows, but if we do break and close below, if we start breaking below this 226.70, finding resistance on it, then maybe it ends up shooting lower. So let's just keep an eye on all these levels that I've given. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. SPY is still just trying to reclaim it, so that's the level to watch right now. And it looks like it could take until the end of the day to potentially decide what it wants to do. This is the 1 minute potential. Maybe it's a head and shoulders pattern that brings us back down. Maybe it just stays in here and chops all damn day. And eventually, at the end of the day, you see a move one way or the other. That's possible too. So, just wanted to come in with this update, and just wanted to show you guys this is a very important moment, in my opinion, that could change the market scenario for a little while. So if you're a bear, you want to see this continue to reject 96.30 and not be able to close above. And even if it starts closing above, you gotta hold it as support here. You can see you can start making a pattern of some sort that could potentially give you your next idea for a breakout. If it does get back in here, start pushing above, hold it as support, then breaks to the upside. So I hope you guys appreciate this video. Leave me a like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think's going to happen. Do you think SPY is going to break above this level and continue back up, or do you think that SPY will be down below 94 end of the day? Let me know your prediction.